As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
It is generally acclaimed that most business don't survive beyond the second generation. Are there survival strategies or unique ways of doing these things? Your guess is as good as mine. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, my distinguished colleagues, and good evening, friends of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. It's a unique day today because, of course, yesterday was Valentine, but today is serious business. I believe everyone, we live to love, and we have to share these ideas based on how much we love each other. And the Institute has brought this to our doorstep, so we are well informed about how we can do things properly so our businesses can live beyond expectation. Today, the 15th of February 2024, we will be discussing the topic small and medium-sized practices. What are the how do you survive beyond the founders? And our special guest is Mr. Adesina Zinsu. FCA is a managing partner, Zinsu Adesina and Co. Chartered Accountant. I'd like to go on the commercial and we'll be right back. Then I'll take his profile so you can know who we have in the studio. But remember to tell someone to join in the discussion this afternoon. My name is Fumi Olani and I'm happy to be here with you once again. So we'll go on the break and we'll be right back.
As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Security is key to national development and growth. No nation can be truly economically successful without peace and stability, or when its security is threatened. This is why we must perform our civic obligation of duly paying our taxes so as to provide the needed resources for government to secure our lives and properties. When we pay our taxes, government is provided with the needed resources to equip our security agencies for a safer Nigeria. The money we pay as taxes is used to purchase equipment and hardware, invest in intelligence and other sophisticated technology, as well as cater for the welfare of all security personnel. A secure nation is a prosperous nation. Nigeria is safer when we pay our taxes. FIRS, it pays to pay your tax.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still know, ICAN-ngr today, the 16th day, and the 15th day of February, and we're happy about today. So, because we're discussing something that is integral on everyone's mind, and the topic for today is small and medium-sized practices surviving beyond the founders. Like I mentioned before the break, I said we have a special guest in the house, and before we started the program, we're just having a chat, and one of our professors, I'll say professors in accounting, said this man was his lecturer. So how much more we, the young ones in the industry? Mr. Additional Zinsu, FCA. Let me take his profile while of course, we can see him on the screen already. Mr. Additional holds a master's degree in economics from University of Lagos and bachelor's of science in economics from Ogun State University, now Olabisi Onabanjo University. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation. He has varied background and several years of experience in tax practice, assurance engagements, transaction structuring, due diligence, business valuation, financial reporting. He has been involved in a lot of implementation of IFRS across different industries of the Nigerian economy. He worked in various sectors of the Nigerian economy before setting up his practice. He is married with children and is the managing partner at Zinsu Adeshino and Co-Chartered Accountant, a medium-sized accounting firm with presence in 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. That's a lot. Thank you so much, sir, for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me, madam.
All right. I know he looks so young. You would assume that he has a lot of FCAs as his students. But right here today, we're here to learn from him. He has so much in him and he would like to share with us. But you know, the first question that everyone would ask you is, how do you exactly grow a small or a startup firm into a medium size and, in fact, into a big firm?
Thank you very much for having me. I think it's better. I think it's very important that we lay some premises before we delve into the nitty-gritty of the subject matter. Having said that, we may need to know what really do we mean when we say small and medium-sized practices, popularly known as SMPs. There's no single definition that fits SMPs. If you're defining SMPs, the definition will vary from one jurisdiction to the other, because what really constitutes SMP in our own clime may not be the same in other parts of the world. But as professionals, we can rely on the definition given by the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC. In defining SMPs, IFAC described using 3 major attributes. That is, SMPs employ limited size of professionals. 2, their major clientele are in the small and medium-sized enterprises. And the third characteristic used to describe SMP is that they rely largely on external technical skills to supplement what they have internally. So, having said that, so how do we now grow SMPs? Right? When we are starting up at ZA, because you must have conscious or internalize that you want to grow this firm beyond you, the founder. You must have that at the back of your mind. And in doing that, you must have vision. There must be goal. There must be objective on how to achieve the target you've set for yourself. Right? So in doing that, we invested time. Time was invested into practices that have survived over the years, that have been in operation for over decades. So how did they achieve this? How were they able to run these practices up to the point that some of them are still alive? They've stepped aside from the day-to-day running. Some have gone, and the firm are still running. So we discovered that these firms, these practices that have survived the test of time, they have some attributes in common. They have all employed certain strategies to grow this firm from small to where they are today. Our members might be there, right now, just having few clients, maybe 4 or 5, building practice from small to medium to big takes time, a lot of patience, hard work, and a high dose of discipline. Those are the attributes that you must put in place after creating your vision. So you need information, you need working knowledge, because it is information that gives value to vision. Information is the vehicle with which you drive every vision to its desired destination. If you don't have information, there's no way you achieve the target you've set for yourself, right? But we are going to share these strategies on how you move your practice from where you are now to where you really want it to be. Don't fret, you don't have any problem to worry. Most of the massively successful firms you are seeing today, they evolve. It takes time, not days, not weeks, not months, but years of hard work, years of deployment of working knowledge in ensuring that this firm survive beyond you, the um, practitioner now. You see, when we are investing time to give direction to this firm, we realize so that most of these firms that are big today, they all evolve from one point to the other. Like the so-called big four now, they were not big four before, they were big eight. They consummated and merged into what we have today, big four. And the top 10 that we refer to as the top 10, they all started from somewhere. I might be forced to mention some name here. We delved into the first digital accounting firm in the country, Akintola Williams and Co. How did he evolve from 1952 to the point where he merged with Deloitte, firstly in 1999 and the second merger in 2004? How did we evolve? We delved into these practices. So we invested time all in a bid to give bearing to our own practice, because we have set out that this firm is going to transit beyond us, right? So you must consciously put in place strategies. Now, those strategies must be backed up by working knowledge, and we mean working knowledge and vision, working knowledge and information as a tool to driving your practice to where it should be, right? So, first thing you should do after discussing, after knowing where you're going, maybe you are there today with no client or with one client, will give you these invaluable strategies that have been deployed, they are tested, they are strategies that if you uh, imbibe today, employ today, you will get the same result that those who have been using them are getting, right? So, and the one thing you need to do here, maybe you're just setting out your practice. You, like we said, you need working knowledge, you need information. All the practices that have been surviving from their onset up to date, they all have their own distinct models. You must create a model for your practice, and your model must be distinct. It's a model that you cannot see in any other place. Well, you can go everywhere searching for knowledge, but when you gather those knowledge, you must integrate it to fit your own model. That is the starting point. Your model must be distinct. It must be unique to you. For instance, every audit and assurance engagement, at the end of the day, you must produce reports. You must print those reports. You must send those reports to your client. What is in vogue then was that people would just print, bind them, bind them, and send to client. We said no, we have to do something very differently. So we came up with graphic design. We designed this, package this report very well, hard copy and the soft copy to accompany this report in compact this in CD, customized CD. That when the client sees it's a wow effect. And as time goes on, right, CDs were no longer in vogue. We have to evolve by introducing USB. That is a model. It is unique to us. It is our own report identity. You may not see that anywhere else. It is how we value our client. So you must create a model, a working model. You need information, you need knowledge. And when we talk about knowledge, knowledge is in twofold. There is the know what knowledge and the know how knowledge. So you are yet today with one client, or you are just looking for ways to start. It is a case of my business is not even surviving. I don't know where to go from here. You follow these strategies we are going to share with you today, and we can assure you, before you know it, your practice will double, triple. You start seeing yourself growing from bound to bound. You know, the first thing you need to do, maybe you don't have, you're still struggling with clients today, is to come up with a very unique and distinct profile. Because you are just starting out, you don't need to have a pronounced or a bogus profile. Make 100 copies of those profiles. That's what we did. That's what all the multiple successful firm did when they commenced practice. Have this 100 profile. You know, don't forget, we said, if you are going to build a firm that will transit beyond you, the founder, it takes hard work and a high dose of discipline. You distribute those 100 proposal or profile as a 12. It is guaranteed that 10% will come back positive. That is, out of the proposal you are sending out, 10 clients will call you. And you must understand your target market is the small and medium enterprises. Every day, small and medium enterprises are springing up. So we have the market already. How do we now assess this market? How do we assess them? I think that's the challenge. So in solving that problem, come up with proposal, submit 100 proposals. I can guarantee you that 10% will come back positive. We had that student in 2011 when we commenced. We did that 100 after those explorative studies of the yesteryear's firm, including the Big Four. We discovered that these are the strategies that they deployed to get to where they are today. So when we dish out 100 proposals, 12 came back positive. And out of those 12, 7 clients signed us on in 2011. And when you break that ground, because you want to break ground, when you break that ground, those initial clients will serve you, if you serve them well, meet their desired expectations, give them quality service. From that client, it is also sure that each one will bring one client to you. So you have 14, and that's why you continue to grow from 14, 20 to 30 to 50 to 80 to where we are today.
Wow, we are really in with the lecturer. I can see everything. You have so much embedded in you. And all I know is we are going to be filled with information today. But you know, you mentioned so many other things that I would have really asked you. But there's one thing that you never really mentioned. My question is, what are the likely challenges? You have mentioned how they can expand, but there are challenges in between. And how can they get off those challenges to continue to make profits in the future?
Despite the fact that we are accountants, we are also business people, right? At some point in time, you have to have this mindset shift from being an accountant to a business owner. So what does a business owner do? It's how to make profit. And in making those profits, there will be challenges will come, but you must have strategy in place to surmount those challenges as they come, right? Number one, your client must be your priority. You must develop your service around your client. You must service your client very well. And in starting out, a lot of firms, we see them in practice, no structure. When you don't have structure, you are bound to have difficult terrain to navigate. When we started, in 2011, as a solo practitioner, we put structures in place. I put myself on salary from the word go. 1, 2, the salary grade, staff grade, structures, planning. From at ZA, when you are coming in, the normal graduate training, from graduate training, you move to associate, senior associate, then you move to supervisor. Those were the things, those were the structures obtainable in every other firm. But from supervisor at ZA, Co, you move to manager. And before you do that, you spend a lot of time with immense and intense training. We don't joke with training in here. In fact, anytime we discover any knowledge gap, we go after it. We bridge that gap immediately, because you are operating in the knowledge economy. You are selling knowledge. What you know today is it has obtained today. Tomorrow, it has moved on. So you must put yourself on the soul. You must seek knowledge. Knowledge and wisdom stabilizes practice any day, anytime. So incorporating whatever challenges that may come about, you put structures in place, put processes in place, and you'll be sure to navigate whatever challenge that comes your way. A lot of things we see in practice, I think, is more of lack of knowledge. There is so much knowledge gap in practice these days. Look, take this from me. Accountants are in short supply. Accountants are in short supply. So we need knowledge. We need knowledge. We need to continually bridge this knowledge day in, day out. With knowledge, you'll be able to service your client very well. You'll be able to meet and exceed your client expectation. We've had a lot of clients that have been with us for years. If those clients are not well taken care of, if we don't give them high level quality of service, there's no way they'll still be with us for those number of years up to now. Now, what we do, a lot of them, they have the challenge of staff turnover, right? You must look for team members before you need them. It sounds strange, but in this practice, you must look for your team members before you need them. If you wait to the last minute when you need them, you'll be left to choose among mediocres. And you are in the knowledge industry. You need people. You need people who are technically sound, who have technical skill to be able to help you achieve your desired goal, right? And when you're bringing in your team member, you must vet them critically. Before you can join us at ZA, Zinsu Additional Co, you must possess 3 mutually exclusive qualities. We don't compromise them. Number 1 is your attitude. The psychologists, they told us that every human being you come across will possess either of 4 personalities. I don't know the wisdom they use in categorizing that. They will tell you some are sanguine, some are phlegmatic, some are melancholic. And if you study them, you see that these people are real. So an attitude has a direct correlation with those personalities. So from day one at Zinsu Additional Co, if you have attitude problem, if you are phlegmatic, we'll discover you at the point of interview. No phlegmatic personality will work at ZA. They will create problem for you. So you look for this type of challenges in advance. You avoid them. The number 2 quality we look at for it, work ethics. You must work. We are workaholic. If you work hard, what do you get? Success. You work very hard, you get success. So from day one, that all our staff are listening right now, we will tell you that here, there is work, it's hard work. When you're coming in, you'll be ready to work. And they know that they are working. So the 3rd attribute we look for in every of our potential team member is technical skill. We don't compromise that. And we don't joke with training. We invest heavily in training. We invest heavily into, I think the institute itself will know that once they go into my profile, they say that we don't joke with training, because you are selling knowledge. It's knowledge that you are dispensing. That's what you are selling. Okay, let's take for example a provision, somebody running a supermarket, right? You store your product. Customers will come in to buy those products. So there's a particular product. They come and they purchase every of those products. You don't go to replenish those items in your shop. You run out of product and you run out of market. Your competitors will just overrun you. So it's the same with knowledge. You must keep improving yourself in knowledge and knowledge and knowledge, and you get that through training. There are a lot of training around. So it is, I think we've seen a lot of practices over the years crash out. Why? Lack of information, lack of working knowledge. Remember, I told you that we invested time in search and researching to give bearing for this practice. Explorative studies of yesteryear's firm. I don't want to start mentioning them, but we studied into Babita Chaye. The founder is long gone. The firm is still there. So when we were studying that, we discovered that Babita Chaye was actually in partnership with Jewel & Co. Jewel himself, and none other man, Dangana. There were three. But at some point, they splitted. So we went further. What led to that splitting? Why did they split? All right. But those firms, the three firms are standing. The two of them are past president of ICAN. They've gone, but the practice is still there. So we learned a lot from them. And what we learned from them, we copy them, but we come back home and we integrate to suit our own model, because every practice has got her own model. No model are the same. You cannot copy and paste, because if you copy their model and paste here, it won't work in your own circumstance, because what is obtainable in those places are not the same with yours. So you can't copy and paste. Search for those knowledge, see how they are doing it, now come down and integrate to suit your own business model.
Thank you. So I'm listening. I'm so wowed by all of your expertise and the level of experience that you have brought into the room. So I'd like to appreciate some of our members that are in the house. I see Fagbala Temitope from, he always claims to be from the ancient city of Ibadan, but it's okay. We see you. Thank you so much for being here. Muiwa Oyetunji, thank you for his reaching out from Ibadan. Also, we have Gani Ibrahim from Ibadan. We have Babalola Akintunde Samuel David from Benin City. And we have Ni Olajide. We have Muiwa. We have Umar Ayuba from Kano. We also have from Abuja, Akindele Ibrahim. We have a lot of comments already coming in, but of course, we'll manage those questions. We'll try to take the questions as much as possible. But I know that we're enjoying all of the lectures coming here. But Mr. Additional, you know that great dreams are dreamt, visions are, and great ideas, they are being conceived, but survival and sustenance require a lot from the dreamers, the visionaries, and also a lot from the successors. What would you say? What does it take in terms of dream, vision, and courage to start a small and medium-sized practice? You talked about the one that are dissolved, but what does it really take to dream it and also to put it together?
Thank you very much for that question. From the starting point, you must have, like we said, build your own model. No model are the same. You can search for knowledge everywhere, but integrate it into your own. From the very onset, you must determine where you are going. What kind of practice are you building? Are you building a practice that will crash for you, or you are building a practice that will transit beyond you after long you've gone? Only you can sit down and determine this thing. And when you agree that, okay, I want to build this practice from small to medium, from medium to big, which is what we have determined from day one. Now, you will now be taking step. Every step, planning must go into it. Serious planning. And planning is a design of step-by-step approach towards achieving a given goal, right? You must order your priorities to achieving your vision, right? And planning is, you must plan. Planning is key. So when you plan, you'll be able to, planning will enable you to achieve your desired goal. You must plan. Planning help you at every point of your practice, right? So when you are building your practice, you must put planning into proper perspective. If you don't plan, he will he will fail to plan. You're planning to fail, and you just crash out. Like we said, during those studies of ours, that time we invested in searching and researching, we realized what made practices great, what make practices low, and what can make you crash out of practice. So we put all these things into proper perspective. A lot of planning must go into it. So, and when you are planning, put all your plans in futuristic. All the steps you are taking towards building your firm, all the steps must be futuristic in nature. It's only those who are futuristic will earn a future. If you are not futuristic, there's no way you earn a future. You must be able to create that future and start working towards achieving that future. Every of your steps must be futuristic. If you are not futuristic, you cannot earn a future.
Thank you. And I see some comments here saying, I love this. Yes, we all love it because we want to learn more. And this is coming free of charge from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. It is still ICAN-ngr, and we have in the studio Mr. Adesina Zinzu. He's been talking to us about sustainability, sustaining our small and medium businesses, and examples have been cited here. I see a question from Fagbola Temitope Adeni, perhaps a question and just talking about, he wanted to reference what you have talked about already. He said, small and medium-sized firms, big and global audit firms, where are the missing links between the two? And how can we close the ranks for another Big 10 and Big 20 to emerge to complement the efforts of the Big 4?
Okay, thank you very much.
Please,
yeah, that's a very good question. A very technical one. That you see, when we studied this Big 4, in fact, where they started from Big 8 to Big 4, they used to be Big 8, now they are Big 4, right? Some things are peculiar to them. They are dominance in Lagos, they are dominance in Abuja, and they are in Port Harcourt. Why are they not in other states of the federation? So we saw that as a weakness. Okay, these guys are not, what are they, what is chasing them away from states like Kaduna, from Plateau State, from Borno? Are there no businesses there? There are businesses all over there, right? So what we can do, we are taking advantage of that weakness in their own approach. In the next 5-10 years, by God's grace, we'll catch up with them, because we already have this in our vision that after 20 years of existence, we must merge. You know, these guys are so big. They are big in every aspect of the profession. Talking about technology, knowledge bank, all those stuff. But the only way to combat them is through effective measure, like like the CIAO did. Unfortunately, there was this argument then. Big Five, the SIA is trying to merge to jump into them to become the arguably the fifth big one in the country. But along the line, I wouldn't know what happened. We were trying to research into it, but the research is still ongoing. But so bridging that gap, we must merge. Firms in Nigeria must come together. That is the only time we can give these guys a run for their money. And we must keep developing ourselves. I keep saying this because we've seen practices. They just come on board, within 1-2 years, they crash out. They are back into paid job, right? So it's the knowledge and the passion, and you must have passion. You must be driven by passion that this is what I want to do. And when you set out to do it, you do it effectively. You need working knowledge. You need working knowledge for any venture you are embarking upon. If you don't have that working knowledge, there's no way you compete effectively. In our practice, we have had calls, to take jobs from the so-called Big Four, and well, it is knowledge. We don't joke with knowledge in here. It's knowledge, because that is what you sell. You are operating in the knowledge economy, so you must have it in abundance. Trainings everywhere. ICAN is trying in terms of training. A lot of trainings going on, but people need to sit down, go for certification and knowledge, just knowledge, because knowledge and wisdom will be the stability of every practice.
Yes, good landing, sir. So, okay, I heard myself echoing. Someone called nature said, definitely one must work hard to achieve success. Yes, we appreciate that. You must work hard. Then Beto Blessing, she says, thank you so much for the knowledge sharing. I am a young graduate. Oh, she's trying because you mentioned all the attributes, so she thinks that she has the attribute to work with you. But you can always get his contact. Is everywhere within the institute. He's a teacher. Is everything, and you can always reach out to him. So, Sam, my question again to you is: you have mentioned how you always interview the people that you require to work for you, but someone also asked a question around how you retain the talent that you have. How can you attract the right talent with the economy that we have now? A lot of people, there's competition everywhere, but can you really pay for these services? So please, can you run us through how some of the good firms approach the talent development and professional growth opportunities for employees? What can we do to retain the talents that we have? You're muted, sir.
It's fine
Yes, go
now.
ahead.
All right. So thank you very much for that question. You see, your team members are your greatest asset, and you must see it from that angle. And if you see them as your greatest asset, you must take good care of them. At Zinswa Additional Co, we have a very low turnover of staff. Why? They are taking care of us. You see, we try to make every of our team member to see themselves in our vision, right? I'm sitting on this seat today as the managing partner, but there is a succession plan. Why? Because this firm is going to transit beyond the founder. So in doing that, you must have good package for every of your talent and staff. They know where they are going to end, right? That's one. Two, at ZA, is part of our culture, our internal value. For you to grow and become the managing partner, you must grow through the file and ranks in here. That way, you understand how things are being done here. You have the culture, you have the value. So it's a teamwork. We create a team culture. We have a culture. We have a business model that is unique to us. You can't find it anywhere. For instance, dress code, how things are done, how we are client centric. Our client know. Our client know. And you see, you should know at some point in your practice, you should know when to turn down clients. It's not all clients you bring on board. It's not all clients you onboard. We also have criteria for onboarding clients, for bringing clients into our fold. Number one, every client you are bringing in must fit our business model, no matter how much you are going to pay us as fee. Once you don't fit our business model, we will not sign you on. It's dangerous. Number two, we must be sure that we can meet and exceed the client expectation. Number three, we'll ensure that we have the available resources in-house to satisfy that client with quality service. If those three factors don't add up, we will not sign on that client. You know why? If you sign up a client and you satisfy that client very well, you are likely to get additional 5 clients from that single client through referrals. The reverse is the case. If you bring in a client and you don't seem to meet that client expectation, satisfy that client, right? The client will go out, oh, those guys, they don't even know what they are doing. You're going to be creating what we call reputational risk. So it's not too good for your practice. So you must know when to bring in new client and when to decline client. You see, and you must build a very good relationship with all your clients. You make them your friends, your family members. I mean, let me just mention this in passing. Sometimes ago, I was personally discussing with a client, right? And he said, Mr. Zinsu, are you okay? I said, I'm fine, sir. Are you sure? I'm fine. Are you sure you're fine? I said, yes. He now asked a question. How you got to know? I didn't know. He said, when was the last time you went for vacation? It's work, oh, we work here. Oh, I can't remember. I said, no. Your voice is not sounding okay. You need to take time out to go and rest, right? So how he did it, I wouldn't know. But I just got a call from somewhere in this Lagos. So I went there for 3 days to go and rest. The following working day at work, it was amazing. I was so relaxed. The brain has set for further work. You see,
We need to reboot.
yes, we'll keep working and working without taking out time to recharge. It's a disaster in waiting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you so much. Yes, we need to refresh our heads. If you need time out, you need to take the time out because you need to relax so that fresh ideas will come in. When dealing with market positioning and when you want to differentiate yourselves from the existing ones or from the competitors, what are the unique strengths or what are the capabilities that you need to give a firm to be in a competitive, to be ahead of the other ones? Or what strategies should you use to stay ahead of the market trends? What would you advise us?
Thank you very much. It still boils down to the vision, knowledge. I still repeat it that you are in the knowledge economy. What distinguishes you is your product. Don't do things how it is done out there. Make sure that you are distinct in your own product. There's a lot of competition out there. People just do things. Okay, they are doing it like this place. They copy. They start to do like that. No. Our own service to our client is unique. It's unique in the sense that you will not see it anywhere, right? Like our clients, we normally tell them, once you sign us on, you go and sleep, concentrate on your business, leave your burdens of worry, we'll carry it, forget our small soldiers, and that has been happening. So these clients have been with us for years. So if they're not getting value from us, there's no way they will stick with ZA. So it's all boils down to creating value, different way to satisfy your client beyond their expectation. You always beat competition because competition will always be there. And don't forget that our target market as SMPs, you are the micro, small, and medium enterprises. We service them, and on daily basis, a lot of them are springing up. So you have to position yourself to get this client. And when you are getting them, be sure that you have what it takes to service them. Otherwise, don't sign them on.
Okay, so that's a good one. Don't sign them on otherwise. But I've been seeing a lot of questions here, sir, and some of them are just seeking your advice on how this business can transit through the next and the next and the next generation. So, but Edu Umechuku it says is greeting you, and then it says, please, how do we get good clients that pay well? Most clients out there they price our services like peanuts, and it's annoying. I have instances where I reject engagements. You have told us to reject some, so how do we then compensate for the loss?
Right. Thank you so much. That happens a lot in practice, right? But it also boils down to the way you package yourself. Your business model must be distinct. If you're distinct, if you package yourself very well, the way clients see you, that's how they will price you, right? If you service your first set of clients when you are breaking the ground, get the fees right. Don't start with poor fees. There's nothing wrong you charging the same fees that the big four, even the big 10 are charging. Is this the same knowledge you're going to deploy? We've had instances where we decline a job because it was one of the big four that was doing that job, and they weren't doing it well. So we were recommended. We went in there. We said, okay, you must pay us what you are paying these people, because these are the people they were messing you up, right? So we insisted. At the end of the day, they called us back. He said, okay, let's start with the same fee, and we are getting the same fee from them. Please package yourself very well. You need to develop your own distinct business model. If you have a very good packaging, work on your structure, build a very good reputation. Let your structure be intact. Dress very well, smell nice. Don't go before a client and appear shy. They will price you with a fee you don't that will get you angry. So build a very good reputation that align with your business model. I'm sure no client will price you with peanut.
I believe that at this point nowadays, we try to always look good so we can be highly priced, and no one will look down on us, or no one will price us beyond reasonable amounts. So, but what role do you think corporate culture play in the firm's ability to thrive beyond the founder? That most times when you have a client, it may be because of the relationship you have, and then we lose the founder. The clients may just not have so much confidence in the people that the business have been giving to them, and they may doubt, or they may truly not have that trust that they had in the founding, the visionary, the person that truly had the business from the start. So how can a firm foster a culture of collaboration where they have innovation and accountability amongst its employees?
Okay, all right. It all depends on the values of the firm. Every practice must have values, the core value, the principles that is making that is sustaining the firm, the practice. It's not about the founder now. Right, fine. The founder may have a subsisting and cordial relationship with the client, but at some point, the firm must make the client to understand that this thing is not all about the founder. At this level, when we were starting out, I was involved mostly on operational matters in the firm. I would do managerial work, but now my role, my duty in the firm has been streamlined to strategical duties. So the operations, the managerial work are handled by other team members. So I don't even see any of those some of those clients anymore. The employee, the team members relate with them perfectly. And before you allow that, before you allow your team member to be liaising with your client, you must make sure that they have the required quality and knowledge, and which means that you must invest heavily in training. We don't joke with training. Just of recent, we discovered that we are lacking in one aspect of spreadsheet, Excel. No. We close that gap immediately, and the processes are running as it should be. So when you are at the top as the founder, it got to a point you allow the values, the principles on which the firm is built to drive the firm, the system has to run the firm. Your clients shouldn't be seeing you. You are just an individual among a team of 30. So it's the value, it's the system, the principle that drives the firm and not the founder.
Yeah, just building on your last response, what kind of measures can a practice take to address potential legal or reputational risks that actually could impact the firm's long-term success after the departure of the founder?
All right. One of those steps will be to, in practice, we've seen a lot in this practice. Now, ICAN licenses are renewable every 3 years. You will see members in practice. Part of the requirement is that you must have a 90 credit hour over the span of 3 years before your license will be renewed. It will amaze you that it is the year when the license will be renewed. That's when you see them running after MCPEs to show up their credit hour. That's a risk, right? I can also require every practitioner to have professional indemnity insurance. Most of our members don't do this thing on yearly basis. They'll wait till the year they're going to renew their practice license. So these things create risk, a lot of risk. Now, talking about legal risk, there's what we call letter of engagement. Letter of engagement signifies the meeting of two minds between your firm and the potential client or the client. Make sure you have LOE in place for every engagement. Have letter of engagement in place. Everything you are going to do, your responsibilities, let it be captured in that letter of engagement. If there is conflict, how those conflicts will be resolved. Let your letter of engagement capture everything that pertains to that engagement. Otherwise, you'll be running risk. At some point, if you need to bring in non-disclosure agreement, please do that. Sign that. Those things will make you to avoid whatever risk that will crop up in the future.
Thank you, sir. We're running out of time. I would just like to take this last question. And, because ICANN is open-minded to ideas that can advance our growth as members. So we always like to ask these questions in closing. And my question is, what is your suggestion on filling the knowledge gap on how small and medium-sized practices can survive beyond their founders?
All right, thank you so much. Right, like we said, there must be vision and goal. You cannot force the practitioner's practice to transit beyond him or her if she has not made up her mind on the type of practice is setting up. So those things must be put in place. They must be at the forerunner. Like, we are building this firm to transit beyond us. And that must be clearly captured in your vision, right? So doing that, ICANN is really trying in terms of training and retraining members. But you see, there's no if you don't yield yourself to those training, there's nothing ICANN can do in that instance. So the onus is on the practitioner to determine what he or she wants to achieve. Do you want a system, a practice that will transit beyond you? You must be seen to be planning towards that, putting a lot of planning, and every step of your plan must be futuristic in nature. Only those who are futuristic will earn a future.
Nice one. Only those that are futuristic can earn a future. Thank you so much. At this point, I want to say thank you on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Zinsu Additional FCA, the managing partner of Zinsu Chartered Accountants and Co. I mean, we're grateful for you to be here today, and we do not take it for granted. We hope that next time you'll be available to attend to our call again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Do have a good evening, sir.
Same here.
Okay, we have a couple of announcements to make. MCPD training program will commence on Wednesday, February 28th to Thursday, February 29, 2024. And the sector is on consultancy. The mode is a virtual training, and the rate is 20,000 naira. Nothing really comes free, but of course, a lot of things are subsidized on this program and within the institute. The other training we have is March 2024. No, this is the ASWA examination. I hope you're registered. If you have someone within that you think wants to become chartered accountant and is not out of school, out of the university yet, you can advise that the person registers. And on Tuesday, the examination is on Tuesday, March 26th to 27th of March 2024. We wish you all success in your examination. The registration is still ongoing. Please register now. And the 23rd fellowship conferment, the date is Saturday, April 27, 2024, and the time is 11 a.m. The venue is Landmark Event Center, and the fee is 175,000 naira. So I had so much fun with you today because we learned so much about how you can make the small and medium sized practices survive beyond the founders. And we've cited a lot of examples today, and I hope that you will build that firm to be one of the big fours, or perhaps you take over from the first to become the first thriving business and of chartered accountant, or any firm or any business that you want to build for yourself. Once again, we say thank you so much for being here. We do not take it for granted. We say we are here every Thursday at 6 p.m. and ICAN has brought this for you free of charge. Tell someone to join next week. It's going to be an exciting period or program next week. We have exciting topics aligned for you. My name remains Fumi Olani. I will say till we come your way again next week, do have a lovely evening. Bye for now.